Welcome back. So let's talk about energy states or levels of consciousness. So any sort of emotion that you're experiencing, let it be anger, let it be happiness, joy, it kind of consumes your mind. You're always thinking about it. Let's say you're very angry, or let's say you're going in public transport, you're on a train, you're on a plane, you're on a bus, and you see a person who's completely angry. No matter how beautiful the day is, the person is still in the state of anger. And when you're in the state of anger, all you can think about are situations that make you more angry. And when you're constantly thinking about these situations, life gives you more situations, or puts you in more scenarios so that you can be more angry about it. And that's how it works, man. Your thoughts, whatever you're thinking, just manifests into reality. So why this happens? So each of your emotional state, whatever emotion you're feeling right, they vibrate at a certain frequency. There's a certain vibration to each and every energy. Like you call it energy or states of emotion. And for example, let's say you're dating somebody and you hear the term, right? She doesn't match my energy. I feel her vibe is off. He doesn't match my energy. His vibe seems way off. Even in a professional environment, let's say a coworker, you're talking to your coworker and you feel like her vibe is so off. It doesn't match my energy. It doesn't match my vibe. And you don't know how to put those into words, how to make sense out of it. They are vibrating at a certain frequency. They are in a certain emotional state. And you are in a certain emotional state. And you kind of feel it is off balance because both of you might be vibrating at different energy states. You might be here, she may be here. And what are those states? So here's a chart that shows the levels of consciousness or the energy states. Let's say you're experiencing apathy, guilt, shame. You tend to find yourself very low on these levels of consciousness, very low states of energy. And these are very dark energies, man. And I'm not trying to say it's positive or negative. It's a part of your life. But the major thing is, are you experiencing pain, guilt, shame 99% of your waking conscious life? Or is it just moments? Like bad things happen to everybody. Everybody has bad days, right? Some person may be like, okay, that thing happened, but that was just a moment. Let me just move on. Let go of it. Forget about it. And let me continue to be happy and appreciate all the good things that are happening right now. And the other person may be like, oh my God, that moment happened and my whole day is ruined. And you start thinking about that small situation that has happened and carry on forward for years. And I'm not exaggerating. People carry things that have happened 10, 15, 20, 30, 35 years ago. And they're unable to live their life. And it feels so sad for these kind of people because they're vibrating at such a low level of frequency that they fail to appreciate the good things that are present at that moment in their lives. So when people say that you have to change yourself, you have to be better, you have to improve yourself, and that is just goes against this flow. You don't have to change yourself. You are perfect the way you are. What you need to do is just raise your frequency, elevate your vibration, elevate to a next level. Let's say if you're always constantly feeling shame and guilt and you're vibrating at this lower state, every possible situation, every possible scenario that comes in your life will relate to that emotion of guilt and shame. You will always find more things to be guilty about. The partners that you attract, the people that you attract will make you feel more guilt. Even they'll be people vibrating at this level. They say like attracts like. People who are of similar kind attract each other. And you heard the saying, right? If there's a thief, he'll somehow find a way to be friends with many thieves. Whichever city he goes to, he will find a thief there. And if there's a musician, whichever city, whichever place he goes to in any corner of the world, he is going to find another musician because they are vibrating at a certain frequency. They emit some sort of energy through their body, through their aura, to their soul. And this may sound like very spiritual woo-woo stuff if you're a beginner to this and if you're coming across this for the first time. But trust me, when I had the exact feeling when I first came across all of this stuff, and now I realize that all of this is completely true. So because when you're vibrating at a state of happiness, if you're always at a state of happiness, joy, fulfillment, contentment, and you're grateful for every single day that you get to live, you will find more things to be grateful about. Like life just to manifest, the universe, life, God, the space, whatever you may call it. It just gives you with more opportunity. A pessimist or a person who's overly negative, who's always complaining about situations, always finds more things to complain about. A person who finds opportunity, a person who's an optimist, will find more things to be hopeful and positive about, because he's just attracting whatever he's thinking. And when you think about law of attraction, manifestation, and you're doing all these techniques, but none of them seem to last for a very long time. You see, many people, they make so much money, all right? Still, they live a very poor life. So much money is coming in. Still, they're unable to have that satisfaction, have that high quality of what that money could bring them. That is because truly inside, they feel like they don't deserve this luxury. They don't deserve this amount of money. And they feel shameful. And universe is always out there to balance things out. If you're feeling shameful and you do some manifestation technique and somehow receive a lot of money, or let's say you scam a lot of people and receive a lot of money, inside, deep inside, in your conscious, you know that you have scammed those people. You know deep inside, like this, you did some technique and this money has flown. All these people who follow these LOA techniques, manifestation techniques, they say, I suddenly received a lot of money, but they're unable to keep it. They're unable to have that flow of success because they feel that they don't deserve it. Inside, they're so gone. They feel so guilty. They feel so ashamed. They're in the state of apathy. No matter how much success they achieve, it just resorts back. And this may be even you working in a job, all right. You're making this much money. You get a promotion or something good happens in your job. Your money jumps to this. Your income level jumps to this. And then somehow, by some weird miracle, it just goes back down. No matter what happens, you're unable to sustain that level of income, that level of freedom. You make $10,000 more, and then you come back down. Your expenses also increase the same amount. You're unable to live a fulfilled life. You may be in a vacation in Bali. You may be in a date with the dream girl of your life. But still, you don't feel that complete joy because deep down inside, you feel like you don't deserve this opportunity. You don't deserve this chance. And you feel so much guilt. And life just resorts back to normal. And no matter how much you try to climb up that ladder of success, that ladder of achievements, you keep coming back down. That's why so many people win the lottery. And they feel like it is a mistake. It just happened out of nowhere. And they kind of feel like they don't deserve the money. And if you look at statistics, right, there's 99% chances that if anybody has won the lottery in the past 50 years, they file for bankruptcy in 5 or 10 years. Because their reality, their emotional state is unable to accept that level of success. And there was a surge and their emotional state was here. So what happens is universe just balances it out. So all this things that is happening in your life, it just comes back down. Balances back to your neutral, emotional, or consciousness state. Now, this may also reflect to people who are in an addictive state or battling addiction, let's say alcohol, drugs, or it may be even video games, for example. They'll be gaming for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. And you can literally see them that they're not completely passionate about it. They're trying to just overcompensate some kind of emotions or running away from some kind of emotions or some incidents that happened 10 to 15, 20 years ago that may happen in their childhood. And they didn't confront them, confront these emotions or confront these situations They just want to escape from it and overcompensating through these addictions. And nobody is actually proud of their addictions. Only in these movies, man, you see all these actors in movie screens. You may be like, they're like, yes, yeah, man, I drink every single day. I'm so proud. I'm an addict. Nobody's proud to be an addict. And now when you're vibrating at such a low frequency, such as shame, apathy, guilt, you will find situations, you'll find yourself in scenarios where you feel that emotions at a much more intense rate. Like literally, man, if you're angry, you'll find more things to be angry about. You see some people who are always positive, and you see they barely have any problems. They attract positive things towards their life. And most of you are trying to, get out of this vicious cycle of being angry, feeling shame, having so much guilt, and trying to manifest the desired life that you want, or trying to even get out of addiction. Most of you are trying to do all these techniques and stuff which are not going to work. They may work for a short period of time, but long-term results cannot be yielded by doing these techniques. You have to realize what kind of emotion you are, what kind of emotional frequency you're vibrating upon, and the reasons why you're in that state. What incident or incidents have made you to feel or be in the state of guilt or shame. And once you recognize that, you start to feel it in a complete state and then let go of it. And only when you let go, you can elevate to a higher state. Instead of chasing some technique, trying to be somebody else you're not, you are perfect the way you are. You just have to raise your vibration, raise your frequency to have or attract whatever you want. And this is how you start having a positive life, or you feel happiness. Happiness is not defined by any material objects. Or it's not defined by who's around you. It's not defined by the place or the city or the religion or the caste or any group or club that you belong to. Happiness is a state of mind. If you are not happy with the things you have right now, by the person you are, and by the place that you are, you will never be happy by attaining things. See, if you're not being grateful for the house that you're living in, it may be a crap house, but still it's a house that is protecting you from the rain, from bad weather. It's still warm and cozy inside. Once you have that feeling of gratefulness, and once you're happy with this, the happiness overflows and the universe balances it out to put you in a much better place. If you're always complaining, always regretting things, you will find more things to be regretful about. And once you're raising your frequency right, once you're letting go of all this guilt, shame, anger, desire that you have, you start to enter the space of non-suffering. There is no suffering anymore. There's just a neutral acceptance of reality. And from here, you start to go to joy, love, happiness, enlightenment. And this is where you're so calm and composed. Like you see people who are completely angry. They may try to start a fight with you. They may try to pick a fight with you, call you all bad names, call your mom something, call your dad something. They may say some religious slurs. And you're so non-reactive and realize that they are vibrating at such a low state. It just frequency doesn't match us, man. And that is why you see whenever you travel in public transport or whenever you're out in public, one person gets angry, everybody doesn't get angry. There's only a group of people who get angry and start hitting each other, start riots, and start this violence. Some people just move away. Why that happens is this one person was vibrating at a frequency of anger, and other people joined in who are also vibrating at the frequency of anger. They felt like, yeah, this energy level matches my energy level. Like attracts like. And they just joined together and combined this energy of anger and just amplify it. Now, if you are struggling to raise your frequency or vibration to a much higher state, Here are three things that you can do. The first thing is recognize where you fall in this level of consciousness. Are you in guilt? Are you in shame? Are you in apathy? I'm not telling like what emotion do you feel. I'm telling what emotion is the primary focus of your life, of your waking life, of your daily routine every day when you're walking around and doing your daily activities. What emotion takes over you? What are you feeling 99% of the time? And figure out that emotion and mark that down. If it's anger, just mark it down. The second thing is stop trying to resist it. Accept it. Now, many people, they know where they fall in this energy state, what kind of emotion they're experiencing on a regular basis. But then they have this resistance. They don't want to accept the fact that they're feeling these kind of emotions, especially people who feel emotions such as anger, guilt, shame, apathy. They're trying to resist it. And there's a saying that goes like, whatever you resist persists. So if you're trying to resist all these emotions, they just take over more. So stop doing that. Stop lying to yourself. Be honest about it. And then when you're honest about it, accept it. And once you accept it, you start searching or looking back like why you're feeling these kind of emotions. What incident or what incidents have made you to feel this emotion such as shame, anger, and guilt. Once you figure out the incident, you just experience the emotions that have been triggered out of that incident. And when you experience them to the fullest. Don't try to, submerge them, forget about it. When it gets really uncomfortable, you start to, just push it back outside, like getting those thoughts out of your head. Just experience it to the fullest. Let's say you had a terrible breakup. Experience that pain. Feel that pain. Because only when you feel all this darkness, all this bitterness in life, you start to appreciate the sweetest of the sweetest moments. And now it becomes so much easier to let go. Once you've identified what emotional state you're on, and then you accept it, okay, yes, I am in this emotional state. And then you identify the incidents that brought you into this emotional state. You experience them fully. It's so much easier for you to sit down and let go. And once you let go of it, you shift yourself to this higher vibration, this higher frequency. Like, yes, I was feeling shame, I was feeling guilt. No, I'm courageous. I'm feeling brave that I accepted this fact. And when you're in a state of bravery and courage, you start to attract things that are on the similar level. And it is much easier for you to progress to the state of love, happiness, and enlightenment. Because if you're trying to jump from apathy to love, it's a very long jump. It's going to be very hard. This is where many people give up. Because the jump is too hard. It's like you're able to do 2 push-ups and trying to do 60 push-ups. If you're able to do only 2 push-ups, a realistic goal would be 6 push-ups or 8 push-ups and then 10 push-ups. This is progressive overloading. The term that you use to lift better and get better muscles, progressive overload. The same thing you apply it here. If you're in apathy and guilt, just come up to anger. Coming up to anger would be easier than going up to love. And this is how you shift your states, and manifest things or bring in things in life according to your emotional state. Now, I know this may sound like a very complicated and a long topic for me to discuss, but that is exactly how I felt when I first dived into this. But now, thank God that I found this knowledge. It makes it so much more easier to raise my frequency, raise my vibration, and it's become so much more easier to quit your vices, your addictions, and achieve the state of happiness and fulfillment. Like anywhere you go, anywhere you are, it doesn't matter the clothes you're wearing, the house you're living in. If you're happy and content, you always find positive things and always find things to be happy about. life will present more situations to you for you to be happy about. And that is how, that's a small part of how manifestation works. And that is how you transform yourself. You don't have to go push against the wave, just to work with the wave. Go with the tide. Just raise your frequency and watch the magic happen. Now, that concludes this video, this amazing magical video that has come out from my body, mind, and soul to all the beautiful people out there. And if you're watching this and you have any sort of questions or comments, let me know them down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. And that is how you transform yourself. You don't have to follow any of these techniques, go push yourself against the wave, but instead, go with the tide and raise your frequency, raise your vibration, and watch the magic happen. Now this concludes this magical video that has come out of my body, mind, and soul. And to all the beautiful people who are watching, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.